guys, my name is Yeti and welcome to Yeti Splash.
Splash.
One of the easiest way to leave Nigeria if you want to jackpot an international country is through studying abroad. You know, the international student visa is one of the easiest visa to acquire, especially in the UK. Your chances of getting this visa is about 90%. It's almost guaranteed that they are going to give it to you, provided you follow all the steps. On today's episode of Yeti Splash, I'm going to be sharing with you answer to the most recurring question I got when I left Nigeria for the United Kingdom for my master's degree. And the question is simple: how much did I spend to be able to travel to the United Kingdom for my master's degree? First thing I need to let you know is that you need to secure an admission. Now, when searching for admission, one of the very important things you need to take note of is the school tuition fee. There are some schools that collect as high as 25,000 naira, maybe like King College London, I guess. No, all those top schools. If you're not going there on a scholarship and you want to pay by yourself, you have to ensure that where you're going is somewhere that is not too expensive. So if you're looking for schools that are not too expensive, like Teesside, like University of all other schools like that, you have to be able to do the research. Now, my school, University of East London, and my current tuition fee is £13,680. Now, if you're coming for September entry 2021, you'll be paying £14,680. Whenever you're checking for schools, basically you just have to like go for the lowest. But on an average, tuition fee on an average, the cheapest I think anybody can get is 13,000. And some schools will give you discount, like if you have 2-1, first class, and all of that. So you can also get like few pounds off. So always check this thing, scholarship opportunities for international students. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to put it like tuition fee in the UK, £13,000. After searching for an affordable university and you've secured an admission, the next thing is for you to pay your tuition fee deposit. That is where the payment starts from. Now, various universities have different tuition fee deposits. You get £4,000, you get tuition fee deposit of £2,000, you get the tuition fee deposit of £3,000. So it varies. But for my own university, which is what I'm using as a benchmark for this video, my initial tuition fee deposit was £3,000. So I'm going to be calculating that in naira. According to Wanda.com currency converter, because that is what is mostly used in the UK here, £3,000 as at today that I'm making this video is 1,750,000 naira. So that's the amount you're going to send to the university. Immediately I paid my tuition fee deposit and it was confirmed by the university. The next thing I did was my tuberculosis test. And for my tuberculosis test, I think I paid 57,000 naira. So if you had, let's just be adding it up. Let's say that is 60k now. Because transportation, you go there, you have to book an appointment online, blah blah blah. That is 1,810,000 naira spent. After I paid the 3,000 deposit, the policy of my school is that before they issue you a card, you must have paid at least 70% of the tuition fee. So I had to pay extra 4,000 naira plus the initial 3,000 I paid. So that is, according to Wanda, I had to pay 2,320,000 naira. If you add all this sum together, 4,130,000 naira. Like I said, I am making this video based on my own experience. Finally, my school issued me my pass and I proceeded to apply for visa. So for your proof of funds, the account has to like either be in your name or your father's name or your partner's name if you are married. So if you do not have that money, that doesn't mean you cannot travel abroad. What people do is that they get somebody to build their account for them. This person will be paying you money into your account, but you have to pay the person something. What they usually charge at 4 to 6% of the money you want from them. So if what you need is like 10 million naira and they ask for 5%, you know, 5% of 10 million naira is 500,000. So for proof of fund, you have to budget like 500,000. That's the 4,130,000 that we have. That is 4,630,000 naira that we have expended so far. So once you have your proof of fund and you have your CAS number, then you can apply for your visa. So if you are applying for the visa application fee will be paid in dollars. So you are going to pay $483. That's good. We are still going to convert in naira. Just stay with me. Also, another thing I had to pay was immigration health surcharge, like an insurance, like health insurance fee that you must pay. Let me just quickly gist you guys. My admission was for September 2020 and and it was supposed to end August 2021. But because of Corona and everything, I just sort of deferring it to January 2021. So because I deferred, my start date changed from September 2020 to January 2021, and my end date was elongated to May 2022. Oh God. That means I'll be spending more than a year in UK. And the way they calculate health surcharge, right, is per year, like insurance per year. So I ended up paying for 2 years health surcharge. But that's not even the painful part. In December, health surcharge was 300 pounds, yes. But I paid my health surcharge in January, as in, because to get this money was not easy. So I paid in January, and health surcharge had increased in January to 470 pounds. But I cried this day. Like, I cried this day. Shout out to Betway money that I won. That was literally what God used to like enable me pay my health surcharge fee. Like, I had to pay for 2 years again. That means I had to pay 940 pounds, something I already planned 300 pounds for. I had to pay 940 pounds. Just imagine the like, I cried, like, it was so painful. I was like, God, why? I'm seeing the signs that you want me to come to the abroad. Then why does it have to be difficult? Like, I didn't plan for this money. Then I ended up paying $1,332.75 for my health insurance for 2 years. If we add these two together, that's $1,815. Now, you will not use Rwanda to convert this one, you use Africa Express, because you will not be able to get dollars from the bank, and you cannot use your card to pay because you have the limit of $100, which is so frustrating. I don't know why Nigeria is always frustrating us when it comes to making payments and all of that. So dollars is now 502. If you multiply that with the $1,815, you get 911,506. So that is literally what I paid for my IHS as well as my visa application fee. After paying for your visa application fee and your IHS fee, then you apply for your visa and you will wait. For me, at that point, I wasn't going to wait, because you will wait for your appointment date, the day you have to come for your biometrics and, do your fingerprint and everything. I was not gonna wait. I couldn't wait, because when I paid for my visa, when I made my visa application, the date I got was 3 weeks from the day I paid. At that point, let me not even lie, my house rent has expired. My house rent expired December, because my plan was that by December I was gonna be out. Like, I was gonna be out. But when all this extra money was just coming from nowhere, I needed to still stay and like all see the money and all of that. So I'm just at that bus stop. I knew leaving was just the only thing I wanted. So what I did when I got my date and I couldn't wait, I paid for what is called walk-in. If your date of appointment is on the 13th, for instance, you can walk in anytime before that 13th to take your biometrics, but you have to pay 40,000 naira. So I couldn't wait for that 3 weeks. I had to do walk-in. So I paid 40,000 naira. That's one. Then another thing I paid for again was for priority service. Now, usually to get a decision on your visa, whether or not you've been granted visa, might take like 3 weeks. Again, I wasn't gonna wait for another 3 weeks to know whether they've issued me visa. I was running out of patience. Like, I was like, So I had to pay for priority service. If I had money, I would have paid for a day priority service, but it was so expensive. So I paid for a week priority service. I paid extra $286, and that is 143,570 naira. Plus the 40,000 I paid for walking. There are two different things, don't mix it up. Together, I paid extra 183,570. If we add that to our initial 5,541,506, in total we have 5,725,068 spent so far. So thanks to Corona, you can't fly without not having a COVID test certificate. So I had to pay 50,400 again for COVID test. That's the total of 5,775,000 naira. So let's just round it up to like 5,800,000 naira, right? You have to pay for flights I followed Egypt Air. It was the cheapest at that time, I think 190 something. But let's say you pay for flight 700,000 naira. So that is already 6 million naira, right? Also, when you get to the UK, you'll be required to do a COVID test. I remember paying £210 for this COVID test. Now, pounds is 700 naira already. If you calculate that by that 110, let's say you have almost 140,000. So, you will spend like 6.1 million. Also, another thing that I didn't pay for, but you have to really consider, is a must that you consider before coming to the UK, is your accommodation fee. I didn't pay for accommodation. I am not paying for accommodation because I'm staying with family. But if you're coming to the UK and you do not have any family or friends you're going to stay with, you don't want to find yourself back home. So you must plan your accommodation. It's very important. Accommodation is one of the most expensive things. Let's say you want to live frugal life and you don't want to like stay in a nice accommodation, you just want to sleep and wake up. You'll be spending at least £300 per month on accommodation, and that's about 200,000 naira. So I would suggest that if you're coming to the UK, you have like at least 2 months money for accommodation, because you might not get a job immediately. That does not mean that you cannot get a job immediately, but you don't want to just play with yourself. At least, okay, if not for 2 months, a month accommodation, that's there. Then you must also have what is called waka or walkabout money, because this money is what you use if you're applying for a job, you want to go for an interview, transportation. Let's say you have 100,000 naira that you change at the airport to pounds, something like that. So 6 something million naira, let's say 6.5. If you do not want to spend up to 6.5 that I've calculated, you can, your IHS money might be for like a year. That's your health insurance might be for a year. So you can move about 300,000 off the money. That's, you have like 6.2. Then if you do not pay 70% of your tuition, which I did, you have to remove that's about that's almost 2 million naira. You have to remove 2 million naira from that money, so it will be 4.2. Then if you have somebody that is also not rushing your POF, like you have the proof of fund by yourself, then you can move 500,000. So roughly you'll be spending like 4 million naira. But however, ensure that you have your tuition fee up to 70%. Anyways, till I come your way next time, I still remain your baby girl, Yeti. Stay blessed.